Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, about 7:30. First day of daylight saving time. The weather also has taken a turn for the worse. It's about 10 degrees colder than it would have been at this point of time, and it's supposed to gust winds between 15 to 25, 30 miles an hour, pretty much all day long. I've got my heated gear. I've got the bike warming up. I've got everything packed up, and we'll get going here shortly. There she is, my 2020 BMW R1250 GS. We got new wheels on her in a hurry.
Here we go. Finally, this is all real. The routes are just taking 400, 85, 75, and then 16 down towards Macon, Savannah, and then Tybee Island. There are some flood warnings along the way. The specific river around Macon is supposed to be about 6 or 7 feet above flood warning. I'm hoping there is A, no road blockage or disruption due to that, and B, that people are not displaced. The famous thing about downtown Atlanta is that they serve traffic jam for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and late night snacks.
That's the Georgia Aquarium building there with the G on top. Continuing further down south past Atlanta Airport and the Porsche Performance Center and all that. Macon is known as the birthplace of Southern rock. It is also known as the Southern Broadway.
Had to sneak in there for Ashu and Anika. We are going to be Macon, alright. Before Macon. Google is Macon, us part ways. I know, that's a little too corny.
If you look at the water levels around us, it's pretty obvious that this area has received a lot of rain in the past few days. Ekmulge River.
That's a pretty muddy river down there. I think the normal water level for that river is like 17 feet, and it was at 23 or 24 feet, and it's expected to further crest during the day through to tomorrow afternoon. There is a fair bit of crosswind since I have crossed over outside of the populated areas, and that definitely makes the wind chill worse. If you do not have any heated gear, I would highly recommend getting either hot wired or gerbing heated gear. I'd much rather you get the kind that plugs into the motorcycle rather than the one with the batteries, so you don't have to worry about longer distances and batteries running out. Who's the poor soul?
I've got about 25 miles of gas left, and guess what? Both the freaking gas stations at this exit are closed for good. Turns out Auntie Google found us a gas station about 6 miles from the previous exit. In my defense, I also tried to fill up as soon as the low gas warning came on rather than draining a lot more gas and being left without any options.
Score! This is an older city. I love the tree-lined streets. Kind of reminds me of when we had gone to, I want to say, St. Simon Island. A lot of tourist activity in Savannah as well. We are going to travel along the Savannah River here for about 3 miles now. I don't know if you can see it here in the map, but look at the size of that street and look how wide the river itself is. I think there are 2 channels to the river. Past the North Channel is South Carolina. That's the Fort Pulaski.
Fort Pulaski was created somewhere in the 1830s before the Civil War to prevent and defend against foreign invasions. As may be obvious, the port of Savannah was also super critical and an important commercial port due to the deep and wide Savannah River and the access to the ocean it provided. There's also a lighthouse on Tybee Island that has been in continuous operation since approximately 1730. Hoping to be able to visit that today.
That out there, my friends, is the Atlantic Ocean. Tybee Island. So I just visited one of the beaches here in Tybee Island and collected some sand from the Atlantic coast. This now officially starts my trip westward. It has been a lot of fun so far. I'm now going to visit the Tybee Island Light Station and Museum. So that's the lighthouse. Hey, how's it going?
That thing's sick.
Alright, that is bye-bye to the lighthouse, Fort Screven and Tybee Island all together. I'm planning first to stop by in Waidaya, Georgia, the place that is famous for the sweet Waidaya onions. And then I'm going to head on westward to Warner Robbins, Georgia. I am leaving Tybee Island, retracing my way back out of Tybee Island and into Savannah now. Coming off the Highway 16, we've now taken 46 west. The landscape's pretty beautiful here. Rolling hills.
There's a considerable amount of crosswind that I've encountered ever since I left Tybee Island. Remember I said in the morning that there were going to be wind gusts, and it's supposed to gust winds between 15 to 25, 30 miles an hour pretty much all day long. I don't know whether I had tailwinds going into Tybee Island or something, but it's now starting to become a botheration quite a bit, especially on my neck.
We are now officially within the limits of the city of Waidaya, or Waidaya as they call it in the south. So the city of Waidaya, or as the southerners would call it, Waidaya, is known as the sweet onion city and is the sweet onion capital of the US. The Waidaya onions are special in that they are grown only in this area, and only the yellow onions grown in this particular county can qualify as the Waidaya onion. Think of it like or champagne of sparkling wine. This is kind of the champagne of yellow onions. The specialty apparently is that the sugar content is about 12%, which is more than twice that of the regular onions, whereas the sulfur content is significantly low. These onions, because of their high water content, do not actually store very well, so they are available apparently only during April to August. So this is the famous onion fountain. I have to say that I'm a little underwhelmed, honestly. But it is what it is. Let's consider the Waidaya affair done and complete, and let's head on over to Warner Robbins.
Just saw signs pass by for Warner Robbins Air Force Museum. Pretty sure that's connected somehow to the famous Air Force base over here as well. I'm staying at this Holiday Inn Express in Warner Robbins, entirely expecting to wake up super smart tomorrow morning.